And when life knocked you down, jump back up and said, it's not over until I win.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I hope everybody is hanging in there, fighting the good fight, and moving forward. Today I want to talk about how I started getting into watching motivational videos pretty much religiously. I know a lot of people are like, motivation isn't important, discipline's more important. And while there's some truth to that, motivation gets the momentum going, discipline does keep the momentum going. But it is a lot easier to stay disciplined when you're motivated. And motivational videos, at least the ones that I watched, definitely help with that. So at this time, I was still trapped in that continuous loop of waking up at 4:30 and then going to work on that dingy crab boat and coming home and getting into arguments with my dad, just depressed as hell, man. I didn't have any outlets except, I had my guitar, but I didn't really have any physical outlets at that time. I hurt my back skateboarding, so I couldn't do that. And I hurt my shoulder, so I couldn't do push-ups or lift weights or anything like that. So I was just miserable, man. Miserable to the point where, like I said, suicidal ideation was a pretty severe symptom of mine. I just couldn't really fathom going on like this and suffering this intensely. So I mean, I would go on the benzo withdrawal support groups and I'd ask people the same usual questions. How long does this fucking last? When is this gonna get better? And as I'm sure you guys know, nobody can give you an actual time. They can give you kind of a very, very vague time frame. Some people be like, I got better the first year. And then some people are like, it took me 4. 1 to 4 years, that's a huge, that's a huge gap. So going on existing like this with no end in sight was almost too much for my brain to handle, to grasp. And so one morning, as I was waiting for my cousin to come pick me up at 4:30 in the morning, I just picked up my phone. And I apologize if I've already talked about this. I don't go back and rewatch everything that I've recorded before I start recording, just because that would take forever. So I don't know if I've already talked about this. I probably have. But anyways, so I picked up my phone and I just typed in, why shouldn't I kill myself? And what popped up at first was some videos about like spoken word, about depression, and of course 1-800 suicide helplines and stuff like that. And nothing really stood out to me. But then I came across a motivational video. It said motivational video, and in all caps it said, I can do it, ! So I clicked on that, and if I can, I'll put the link in the bio to this video that I'm talking about. It's actually in my book. I put the link in the book because it's just such a powerful video. And basically what it is, it's a compilation of all these very powerful motivational speakers: Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Jocko Willink. I don't think David Goggins is in this particular one, but anyways, it's got the compilation of all those speakers to the background music, and it's all very like, I'm gonna overcome, and it ignited something in me that morning where it was like, what, I'm going to fucking fight through this day. I'm going to do the best job I can on this crab boat. I'm going to grit my teeth, and I'm going to bear this existence for just one more day. And so after a while of, like I said, I would commit to watching one motivational video every 30 minutes and one empowering song every 30 minutes. Now, I know that some people can't listen to music, which I don't personally understand. I mean, I do understand, because I can see where it would be too loud, or where, I mean, like, I just know that staring at my phone used to be pretty scary because the images were floating off the screen. So I can see where technology would be a little overwhelming. But for me, I'm not gonna tear up, I might, but for me, music was like a spiritual experience for me in Withdrawal. And it still is. Like, music hits different now than it ever used to before Withdrawal. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was my lifeline. It was somebody taking a life vest or whatever I don't know, a life vest, and throwing it out into the water while I was drowning. It was all it was all I had. So after gaining momentum with these powerful motivational videos and this powerful music, it started to cultivate a pretty powerful, I don't know, I'm saying powerful a lot. It started to cultivate this fire inside of me, and I needed an outlet for this fire. I had all this energy. I mean, plus I had the akathisia, literally never being able to sit still. And that's, like I've already talked about in a previous episode, that's why I started getting into the marathon. I decided I'm going to run a marathon. And like I said, I found a 7-month training plan. I decided that this was how I was going to wage war against Withdrawal. And no matter how horrible I felt, I was going to commit to this marathon. And the first experience that I had getting out onto this road was pretty profound. I mean, I just decided I was going to run until I couldn't run anymore. My idea of running a marathon before I found the 7-month training plan was I'm gonna do it in 3 weeks, which did not happen. But my first experience with this running, I just wanted to run until I couldn't. And I got out here, and just so many thoughts were running through my head as I was running, man. Like regrets of the past, and how did I let myself get like this, and how did I throw away my 20s with drugs and alcohol, and how did I hurt my mom for so long with my addiction. And I missed my friends terribly. I just wanted to go back home. I wanted to be normal again and give them a hug. And it was just very profound. And I learned in rehab to not like attach yourself to thoughts. Just let them run through your head. Just let them keep going. And running kind of helped me do that. And when I got tired, I pictured this this obese kid that I watched in a motivational video, and he was running through like a desert road, and you could tell he was highly uncomfortable exercising, but you know, bless his heart, he just kept on waddling and just putting one step forward. So when I got tired, I just pictured this fat kid and just kept on waddling forward myself. So I ended up running that day. I ended up running 9 miles. At the time, I only thought I had run 5 miles. This was before I got into like Garmin watches and Fitbit and like really accurately tracking time. So I woke up the next day and my legs were so beat up and so torn, and I could barely even walk. I mean, this was my first time running, and in years, I've never been a runner before this, and just even walking down the stairs felt like a crazy task and mission in and of itself. And I was just like, dude, this is what happens after you run 5 miles. I was like, how the hell is somebody supposed to run 26.2 miles? And I later found out, once me and my cousin tracked the distance with his truck, that I actually ran 9 miles. So that made me feel a little bit better. I was like, okay, 9 is at least more than 5. And running 9 miles your first go ever is not bad. But the pain that I had in my thighs and the severity of the soreness definitely set me aback, humbled me, and I was like, all right, maybe I do need to follow a training plan of people who have done this before and know how to like build it up and how to get rid of, how to like build tolerance to lactic acid and all that. So then that is when I found the 7-month training plan and decided to stick to that. But even then, even when I was kind of doubting myself of like, dude, how this is only 5 miles, how am I supposed to run 26.2? Even then, that fetal position fortitude kicked in and it was like, dude, I've been through withdrawal. Not just withdrawal, but post-acute benzo withdrawal. I mean, what is 26.2 miles compared to that? I'm pretty sure I can handle this. And I remember watching a motivational video. I mean, that's pretty much a theme here. I watched one motivational video and the speaker was like, some people you might have the gift of public speaking, or you might have the gift of courage, or you might have the gift of long suffering. And the way that he said it, the way that he was like, oh, it's a gift, that clicked with me. The fact of like, oh, okay, I might not be the smartest guy or be able to talk well right now, but I can definitely, through no choice of my own right now, I can definitely put up with some suffering. So I might as well turn that into a superpower. So I mean, think about it. When it comes to succeeding at any goal that we have, every goal requires endurance, persistence, resilience, whatever you want to call it, just and dealing with the pain, the suffering, if you want to, that's a little exaggerated, but I mean, I guess the pain, suffering of failure after failure after failure. And what better prepares you for that process than the suffering and persisting through withdrawal? It's the hardest thing anybody can go through. So having that mindset and that mind shift as you go through your day and almost see the long suffering as a gift, it's basically turning you into a fucking superhero, badass warrior person. Even though it doesn't feel like you're a badass superhero warrior person when you're overstimulated by your surroundings and you can't talk to people and you're very sensitive emotionally and all of that. But like deep rooted in your soul, you know that you can endure some shit because of this now. So anyways, this is kind of a long episode, and I hope you guys are getting something from this channel. And if you find that it is helping you, please share it with somebody who is also in withdrawal, or a family member who might need help understanding what someone else is going through in withdrawal. Keep fighting the good fight, guys. It gets a lot easier.
And hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain.